Welcome, listeners, to Dystopian Relics. Today, a story I bring to you. The story of Zell. Zell was a young and ambitious magician, yearning to transcend the limitations of his craft. He found himself drawn to an antique shop nestled in the heart of a forgotten street. It was a peculiar establishment, its worn exterior exuding an air of mystique that piqued his curiosity. As he stepped through the creaking door, the scent of aged books and ancient artifacts enveloped him, heightening his sense of anticipation. His eyes scanned the dimly lit room, scanning the shelves adorned with peculiar relics from distant lands. And then, amidst the eclectic collection, his gaze fell upon a singular object, a gleaming, ornately adorned box resting on a pedestal. The relic seemed to radiate with an otherworldly aura, calling out to Zell with an irresistible allure. The old shopkeeper, his eyes filled with a mixture of wisdom and caution, approached Zell with a solemn expression. "Beware, young one," the shopkeeper warned, his voice laced with a tinge of apprehension. "That artifact carries a power beyond mortal comprehension. Its origins are steeped in ancient mysticism, and tampering with its essence may lead to unforeseen consequences." But Zell, fueled by an insatiable desire to push the boundaries of his craft, disregarded the shopkeeper's cautionary words. A surge of determination coursed through his veins as he reached out to acquire the relic, feeling an inexplicable connection with the object that surpassed logic or reason. Unknown to Zell, as his fingertips grazed the artifact's surface, a dormant wellspring of genuine arcane energy surged to life within its depths. It was as if the relic had been patiently awaiting the touch of one whose spirit resonated with the true essence of magic. As Zell delved deeper into the secrets concealed within his newfound power, his stage performances transcended the realm of mere illusion, becoming profound spectacles that ignited a primal sense of awe and wonder within his audiences. What had once been a mere game of smoke and mirrors took a haunting turn as the supernatural forces tethered to the artifact responded to Zell's command, causing reality itself to warp and bend in his wake. During one particularly mesmerizing performance, Zell stood center stage, his gaze locked with the eager eyes of the audience. A hushed anticipation fell over the theater. A wave of palpable energy rippled through the air, charged with an otherworldly electricity. The room seemed to hold its breath, caught in the grip of anticipation. With a flourish of his hand, Zell summoned a tempest of swirling mist that engulfed the stage, obscuring him from view. Whispers emanated from the fog, ethereal voices that spoke in forgotten tongues, carrying ancient secrets from distant realms. The audience, held captive by the supernatural aura that enveloped them, felt their breath catch in their throats. As the mist dissipated, Zell reappeared, hovering effortlessly above the stage, defying the laws of gravity. Gasps of astonishment echoed throughout the theater, mingling with the thunderous applause that erupted in response to the impossible sight before them. It was a moment that etched itself into the memories of those fortunate enough to witness it. A testament to Zell's ascent into a realm beyond mere magic. But, with each performance, a subtle shift occurred, imperceptible to the audience's eyes. The supernatural forces tied to the artifact, once obedient to Zell's commands, began to exert their own will. Reality itself became pliable, malleable, to the whims of the supernatural entities that latched on to Zell's newfound power. In the depths of Zell's illusions, time bent, twisted, and stretched, What should have been fleeting moments lingered as if caught in an eternal loop, while others raced by in a blink. Shadows danced with a life of their own, reaching out with ghostly tendrils that seemed to breathe with a sinister sentience. The once stable boundaries of space faltered, allowing Zell to step effortlessly from one place to another, defying the limitations of physicality. Objects responded to his slightest gestures. No longer confined by the rules of the material world, reality itself became a puppet, manipulated by arcane forces that seeped through Zell's fingertips. As Zell's performances continued, the line between what was real and what was conjured grew ever more blurred. Audiences marveled at the wondrous spectacle before them, unable to discern where the natural world ended and the supernatural began. A sense of unease flickered beneath the surface, a primal instinct that whispered of forces beyond comprehension. The supernatural entities, once silent spectators to Zell's command, grew bolder, casting a dark shadow over the wonders they helped manifest. Spectators found themselves trapped in lingering nightmares, their dreams intertwined with the illusions they had witnessed. Some swore they could hear the whispers of unseen beings long after the curtain fell, their minds forever altered by the chilling touch of the supernatural. As Zell's performances evolved, a disquieting metamorphosis took hold, blurring the line between his stage persona and his true identity. What began as a captivating display of enchantment gradually transformed into something far more unsettling. A journey that mirrored the unraveled fabric of his own reality. With each act of wonder, Zell found himself inexorably drawn deeper into a realm of uncanny power, where the boundary between the expected and the extraordinary dissolved before his very eyes. It started subtly, imperceptible shifts in Zell's demeanor that only the most discerning observers would notice. His gaze held an intensity that lingered long after his performances, as if the power he wielded clung to him like an ethereal shroud. The distinction between the man and the magician blurred, as though the captivating enigma he presented on stage had seeped into the core of his being. As Zell delved further into the exploration of supernatural abilities, the line separating his stage illusions from his genuine capabilities grew increasingly tenuous. The very essence of his being resonated with uncanny power, threading through his veins and merging with his soul. It was as if he had become a conduit channeling forces far beyond his mortal understanding. Zell found himself caught in a paradoxical dance of identity. The guise he assumed on stage infiltrated his everyday existence, blurring the boundaries between performance and reality. His interactions with others took on an air of mystique, his words carrying an undercurrent of otherworldly wisdom that defied explanation. As the line between expected and extraordinary dissolved, so did Zell's grip on his own sanity. The power he stole exacted a toll on his mind, casting shadows that whispered haunting secrets and warped his perception of the world. What was once a source of inspiration became a source of unease, as Zell questioned the true nature of the forces he unleashed. As Zell's power grew, so did the horrifying occurrences that infiltrated his everyday life. Objects twisted and contorted, defying their natural forms, while spectral apparitions materialized with malicious intent. The shattered barrier between the stage and the supernatural became a gateway to an abyss of malevolence, and Zell's grasp on reality slipped further into the clutches of darkness. In the end, Zell found himself standing at the precipice of a revelation, his world forever transformed by the dire consequences of his fateful encounter with the mysterious box. He had bargained with powers far beyond his comprehension, unwittingly awakening a malevolent presence that feasted upon his essence. Illusions twist into nightmares, and the ordinary became a grotesque reflection of his fractured mind. The consequence of his unwitting foray into the realms of true magic loomed with devastating finality. Haunted by the torments that plagued his existence, Zell's descent into madness reached its culmination. The lines between illusion and reality blurred beyond recognition, trapping him in an eternal labyrinth of terror. The supernatural forces he had unleashed reveled in his suffering, relishing in their triumph over a mortal who dared to meddle in their domain. As the shadows closed in around him, Zell became forever lost in the maddening dance between the extraordinary and the abhorrent. His mind shattered into fragments, forever condemned to wander the twisted corridors of his own delusions. The echoes of his anguish screams mingled with the haunting whispers of the malevolent entities, etching a tragic and cautionary tale into the annals of occult lore. Thus, the story of Zell, the aspiring magician, has reached its conclusion. A tragic end that serves as a grim reminder of the perils that lie hidden within the pursuit of forbidden knowledge. The artifact that had promised power and wonder became an instrument of his own undoing, ensnaring his soul in an eternal nightmare of his own making. The world trembled, forever tainted by the darkness that consumed him, a haunting reminder of the consequences that befall those who dare to tamper with forces beyond mortal comprehension. The only question left is, will the evil that Zell invited into the world spread out to taint others? But that's a question for another day. Thank you for listening. We'll see you soon.